Bonjour YouTube, Trevor here, Summit or Nothing. Back out today on Dartmoor. Seems like it's been ages. So I've come up to Sourton today. I'm going to walk over to Great Links Tor and I'm going to wild camp there in the winter. I say winter wild camping, but it's autumn, isn't it really? You can see all the ferns are turning over, losing their colour. The colours are brilliant, aren't they, in autumn? It's my favourite time of year. Longer nights, the temperature's dropping right down. Not getting into the minus temperatures yet, but going to be good fun anyway. You saw me bag video the other day, so I've got it on my back. It's around 12 kilos. I've put a few other bits in there, but I'll run through that later on. We'll have a look at what's in my bag. We'll discuss some of the points that you guys had made, some of the decisions I've made. See Forgeland Ledge over there, that's where Nath and Pat camped last time. Hopefully I'm going to have a better night than that. Now, you see these strange formations in the ground here. You might think some sort of industry, and you will be right. This is what's called Sourton Tor Iceworks. And it used to be, yeah, a factory for creating ice. It wasn't very long, it was only for about 10 years, back in about 1874. And then the ice would be created here from a spring which was fed into these channels where it froze. An ice factory up on Dartmoor. But you can tell times are getting milder. It was probably winter kicking in back then already. But now here we are, eating into November, and it's not that cold. Considering 4 years ago I camped up on Hare Tor late October and it snowed. Snowed overnight then. Hey! I've got up, my first up of the day. I'll tell you what, that was hard work. My heart rate on my Garmin was quite up high. I've not done any exercise for a long time. Completely out of practice. Probably ate too much. I need to sort it out. So I don't know if it's going to be busy over on Great Links. Looks like it's in the mist up there at the moment. Hopefully I'll make it over there before dark. It's quite late setting out. That big mound over there is called Great Nodden. So that's where we're going, up there. Great Links. Can't quite see it today. It's a beast of a tour, but it's right up in the clouds. So, it's going to be a strange eerie night up in the mist, I think. I can hear running water. It's going to be a long night, so I'll probably be glad. Some hot drinks. I'm going to find somewhere to fill up my B3 here. It looks a bit dark, a bit brown. Do you know what? It actually really stinks. So I think I'm going to give that water a miss. Well, just a little bit further up, there's a bit of a stream running alongside here. It seems to be a lot clearer. It still looks a bit tinged with yellow, but it doesn't smell quite so bad. Should be fine. Here we go. Try that. In case you didn't see my last video, well, I'm packing this bag, my low alpine. I packed my tent in, and in case you're wondering which tent it is I'm using tonight, it's the Cloud Peak 2 from Naturehike. I've not used it since last year, actually. It's designed for stronger winds and that, but at the moment it's looking like I'm going to have a really nice night for camping. So I could have just bought a bivvy, tarp and bivvy. There she is, look, Great Links. The mist is clearing. And now we're getting a good look at her. Beautiful. Hopefully I'm alone up there tonight. Find somewhere nice to pitch. It's starting to get cold now. What have we got? Less than an hour till sunset. Yeah, you can feel the temperature's dropped. So yeah, it could be quite a cold one. We're quite high. Hopefully it looks boggier than it is. Quite solid underground, to be honest, underfoot. So far, touch wood, speak too soon. This looks like it could be horrendous. All right, Pete. Here we go now. Great Links. One of my favourite tours. And I've never camped here on my own. So, that's what I'm doing here. Tough climate, look at that. Oh my god, it's so quiet up here. Still. So here we are at the top of Great Links. Listen. Not a sound. Something on up here. This looks like the perfect spot, perfect pitch. It's nice and level. Seems to be enough room to get a tent up. Right, so a lot of you watched the video and commented and said you wouldn't put the tent in first, you'd put the tent in last. But I'm pretty confident I can get the tent out without disturbing too much. Now my tent is down here to the side. So if I grab it, I can wiggle it out a bit tight. It's coming. Tent's out. Can I remember how to put this up? That's the question. A lot of you said about separating it as well. That's something I might look at in future. Sort of putting the tent in a dry sack and putting the poles and the pegs separately. Now, it's all clipped together still from last time, so the ground sheet, the inner, and the fly sheet. Next I'm going to get the poles together. Once they're thread through, we can sort of move it around if we need to, but it's pegged down so it's not going anywhere. If it was windy, I'd have tied it to my bag or something and I'd stash things away, but it's not a breath of air here today. here. Now there's 3 wider sides, there's the door and the door there. So you've got to try and find out where the doors go on here. And then they've got hooks down here, all the way around. And here. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a reposition now. So I'm going to unpeg it, move it around just so I've got enough room when I get in and out of my tent. It's the beauty of the freestanding tents. There we go. So that's where I'm going to be sleeping tonight. Looks quite level. Right, so I'm going to finish pegging it out. We get in. Right. Right, after the last video, a lot of people said that you probably want your coffee at the top. Well, I knew I wasn't really going to be stopping for a coffee, so it didn't matter, but I have swapped it around. It did make more sense to have the jet boil towards the top. And also someone said, you didn't put a down jacket in. No, I didn't. I was supposed to, but there is room on the top. So I've got my down jacket. I've got a new one, actually. A new Peter Storm down jacket. 50 or 60 quid, I can't remember now. We could get a little bit of lighting on us here. Just put that down here. And my sleeping bag is shoved in around everything. Jet boil. Do that in a minute. And then got my new Thermarest Neo Air, which I'm very excited about sleeping on tonight. Now I've got a little Trekology pillow. I've got my spare clothes in there. I did put an extra pair of socks because I couldn't remember if I packed socks in with my thermals. I don't think I did, but I've got a extra pair of socks in here, and then I've got snacks and things that was extra. So it brought the weight up to just around 12 kilograms, but I didn't think that was necessarily too bad. Right, I'm going to set everything up in here and then we'll have another look. So Great Links Tor all to myself. It's so eerie here tonight, it's so still, and it's just coming really, really foggy. So this is the pump sack that I get with Thermarest. It's a drawstring one at the top. You could use it as a dry bag, but I like the dry bags with the strip in there that you fold over and you clip together. But I'm going to give this a try. But what they say is don't blow in these because it goes all stale and you can get mould and that growing in there from your breath. So do a big scoop. Yeah, that's how much air I got out of that. I think next time I'll bring the flexi tail pump. Not fun. Maybe I'll stand up and do this outside. So this would be absolutely horrible if it was raining. So although it makes a racket, the little flexi gear pump. Flexi tail, is it called? Flexi gear. Probably be a lot better. Right, so it's 5:15. I'm in the tent. I've just closed the door up, trying to get some heat in here. So it's 5:15, and the sun rises at 20 to 8. So about 15 hours to kill in the tent. Yeah, I bought a Dartmoor Legends. We'll have one of them later. But for now, just keep him warm. Look how nice and roomy this tent is actually. And look, the vestibule is brilliant. Sort of size. It's awesome, isn't it? Loads of room in here. Look at that. When the door's shut, the bathtub bottom. That's a good sort of 200mm upstand. So that should help if there was any like water running outside. Should help protect it. But then the top is like mesh, so it could get quite cold in the winter, perhaps, but it's really no more mesh than... Hey! Someone eating my poles. What are you doing? Don't eat my poles. No, 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 no. Go on. Go away. You're eating my ropes. You're going to snap all my ropes, you little git. Come on. Nick off. Go on. You're not coming in here. Good boy. Oh yeah, I was saying it's about the same amount of mesh as my Cloud Up 2, and I've used that through the winter. Fine. God, that made me jump a bit. I think he's still out there. Boy's mate now. Can you believe this? Go away. I don't want you over here. Go on. Go on. So, got me coffee going. I've got these Taylor's coffee bags. I tell you, they're hell of a nice. And then in here, I've got some coffee mate and sugar mixed. This is what you didn't see go in my bag the other day. Yeah, I think that's done, isn't it? Turn that off. Well, the ponies are back again. It's hard to relax from this. The ponies around. One of them actually looks really pregnant. It's getting colder now. I can get back in the tent. Didn't put me out on. I'm freezing. Right. Hello there, YouTube. It's time for Dartmoor Legends. A couple months back, I went out with the patrons, Chris and Paul, and I read a story, and it had a pig in it, and it went down quite well. Chris especially liked it. Well, here's another one. This one tonight is called Judge Jeffries and the Big Black Phantom Pig. George Jeffries, the first Baron Jeffries, was the English judge who became notorious for his harsh sentences after the Monmouth Rebellion in 1685. His severe sentencing for even minor indiscretions earned him a black reputation. In his travels as a judge on the Western Circuit, he held court in many Devonshire towns, and legend suggests he was at his judicial best, or worst, at Lidford. It's just over there. He must have had a great impact on the area. So the story goes, he haunts the ancient borough in the guise of a big black pig. It's not clear how often this phantom porker has been seen, or why indeed it should automatically be assumed it was the dreadful judge himself, as he is also supported to haunt a room in a hotel in Exeter. However, at least in Exeter he is in a more recognisable human form. Whether or not it is him, or indeed if he haunts anywhere, you'll have to judge for yourself. I probably shouldn't have read that one with all this grunting and snorting going on outside. It's really eerie having them horses that I keep thinking they're going to bite my tent, rip it or something, or trample over me. I hope not. Well, it's about 9:30 now. I don't think it's got any colder, but yeah, 9:30. It's lovely and relaxing here. I have been just lying here, sort of listening to the horses. Just I've calmed down a bit about the horses now. The pony, I keep calling them horses, they're ponies. They're not quite so inquisitive now. touch wood. When I've got all my lights and that off and I'm just sat in it, it's not actually dark. It's quite light coming through the tent. So there must be a moon out there above that cloud somewhere. The mat is quite comfy. Perhaps the larger one might have been a bit better, because even though I'm not falling off the end, it doesn't feel quite wide enough. It's not been an issue, but I just feel like I'm perched on the end of the bed. Do you know what I mean? The Trekology, you know, for 50 quid was wide, comfortable. You can't roll off the blooming thing, you know. But this is comfy, and people said it like crackles and that, but this one doesn't really crackle at all. And considering it's like 4.2 R value, like a lot of people say it's like lying on a crisp packet. But I haven't really noticed. And now it's a test of the sleeping bag, I guess. The Leviathan, OEX Leviathan. See how this holds up in the night, because our comfort rating is in the minus digits, but it's OEX, isn't it? So they tend to let you down eventually. We'll see, I guess. Anyway, it's a lot different conditions to when I was in this tent this time last year. Do you remember? Anyway, I'll see you all hopefully in the morning, but if anything happens through the night, like I get trampled on by a horse or anything, I'll try and keep you up to date. It's morning, 6:23, still dark. I slept like a log. I was warm all night, comfy. It's a nice comfortable mattress. Just got out for a pee. Another fault with this tent, when you open the door up, the door flaps in and you get like a wet, cold face full of wet, cold door. And then the roof bit comes over like halfway across the door, and then when you playing with the zip, all that water on the top runs and then drips down into the tent. That's a bit of a pain in the arse. So the roof capping, whether you can keep that attached and still be easy to put your poles up, I should think it would be. It's not an issue, but if it was raining, you want that attached. Why they can't just attach it, I don't know. And then it's just the door issues. The doors are an issue because of the water coming in, but also because it snags, the zips snag fairly easy. Done it a couple of times last night, but if you open it slowly and carefully, it should be alright. 7:39 is sunrise, so I've got over an hour, but I'm going to get ready so I'm just packing down the tent at sunrise and getting out of here. He said, I'd love to see you struggling with this in the morning, getting all that stuff in that pack. So let's see how easy that is. It's amazing to think, isn't it, when you look around all this gear and this little shelter, you know, it all fit into this backpack carried on my back. It's good, isn't it? Right, so I'm going to start packing my stuff down. I keep everything in my tent bag. So there's my Trekology pillow bag. The pillow didn't deflate at all, so that was good. Squeeze the life out of it, and then we fold it. And then any more air that gets caught in there, just squeeze it like that and it gets out. And then click it again, easily tuck back into its bag. Like so. Put that there. It's a wing nut which you turn and then you open and it lets the air out. And then again, like we did with the pillow, put it up that end and we roll it towards, gets the worst of the air out. We just tighten it up then, and then we come back, open it back up and fold it once into three, twice. Then once you've got it folded, roll it up nice and tight. Any air that's left will leave in there, so you just get that pair out. Close that up. And wrap the bag around it as well. Slip it back in its bag. So what I am going to be up against is that the tent is wet. Obviously when I packed my bag, the tent went on the inside. It's not going to do that this time because the tent's going to be the last thing that goes in. So I'm hoping I can shove everything in and then the tent will go in this webbing. So for now everything else can go in. So two things in here. My clothes I never wore. The only extra layer of clothing that I did wear was an extra pair of socks. So my thermals, they can go down the bottom. I don't need them now. My thermarest, my pillow can all go in. My jet boils going back in. Sleeping bag, I'm going to try shoving that straight in at the bottom of the bag. It takes up more room when you do it like this. It's harder to get the compression. Hopefully it's not going to be too hard to put my tent on there. Down jacket and shove in there as well. And then it's a case of loading up all my electrical bits in there, which I just shoved into my sleeping bag pack, which I'll just lay on top. Right, and then waterproofs, which I haven't had to wear yet. So now that's everything except for the tent back in. So we're gonna get outside, rip the tent down, see how easy that is to pack up into this bag as well. Just gonna lay on the floor outside, so I'm gonna go in here, get out the rain cover, wrap it over the bow trail. What I love about these low alpine ones, you can hook them behind your air zone pack and then your rain cover clips together, so it's secured to itself around your pack, doesn't blow off. Right, now I think we're ready to take the tent down. Stop back down there for a minute. There, not so bad, was it? But it was the finest conditions we've had. So I really think I need to secure that capping piece in future. Now let's see if I can fit this on the front of my bag. Pull that out as tight as it will go. Work it through like that. Stick that around again. Clip it in behind. Done. There we go. Backpack's on. That's how you leave your campsite. So there we go, another solo wild camp on Dartmoor. Thanks ever so much for joining me, hope you enjoyed that. It was nice to get out, not quite winter yet, it wasn't as cold as perhaps I'd anticipated. Yeah, thanks ever so much for watching and I'll see you all again soon. Cheers.